Okay, guys, welcome back to the Life and Times of Crazy Patrick. I was thinking about my mom today, being the holiday season, you miss your relatives. My mother made candy at Christmas time. She made peanut brittle, which is pretty hard to make. She made chocolate fudge, and she made me peanut butter fudge every year for Christmas. And so I decided today I was going to make some peanut butter fudge. So what we're going to need for that, we're going to need a pan. We're going to need, it calls for 8x8. This is a 9x9 pan. Going to need 2 cups of sugar. Going to need a teaspoon of vanilla. Going to need 3/4 cups of peanut butter and a 1/2 cup of milk. So we're going to get this party started here. I'm going to start with the sugar. Got my measuring cups here. You know how I like to cook, so here we go. Going to make my own peanut butter fudge. I've never done this before, so look out, folks. Here it comes. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 cups of sugar in this pan. There's 1. And we're going to go for 2. Looks like that's about what I had in this bag. About 2 cups of sugar. I had it just about perfect. All right. There's a little left in, a couple, I just throw it in. That's close. Now we want to get a 1/2 cup of milk, and I got these measuring cups so I can hang them up. I really like them, but sometimes on this counter they kind of fight me a little bit. So now we need a 1/2 cup of milk. I'm using 1/2 and 1/2 because I like it a little creamier. And we're going to put that in here. And of course I'll make a mess. And now we're going to need a spoon to stir this stuff up. Well, here I am digging in my drawer. I should have had it out. So we got to mix all this up, and then we're going to put it on the stove. And we need to bring this up to a boil. And you're going to have to watch it. You're going to have to watch it constantly and keep stirring so it doesn't stick or burn. So, while we're doing this, I don't know what to talk about. I was trying to think up a story, but I did want to, I wanted to let everybody know, Gail Faulkner, my friend in Australia, she sent me in that Christmas box, there was creamy chicken sweet corn soup. And man alive, Gail, thank you for that. My wife and I had that last night for dinner with a nice salad. And you talk about good. That was some good soup. And you can't get it here. They don't make anything like it here. So thank you, Gail, for that. And I want to thank everybody that showed up for my live stream last Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope we can do it again soon. And as far as my health issues, boy, it seems like it just keeps getting better and better. I had my cancer doctor wanted me to get a sleep apnea test to make sure that I was, getting good sleep, and come to find out I do have sleep apnea. But the thing they made you wear on your head for that said that I had something going on with my heart. So Dr. Tofik, when I was there Thursday for my appointment, he did an EKG, and my heart's throwing in a couple extra beats there. And he says, well, you may have a blockage, or you may need to get a pacemaker. So he's now referring me to a cardiologist. That's all I need, is another doctor appointment. And he said that the EKG showed that I may have already had a heart attack in the past that I didn't know about. But on the positive note, I feel good. My monthly shots are working, and I'm feeling okay. I got a little bit of energy back, and you guys give me energy, so I really appreciate all that. I love your comments. If you ever want to send me cards or letters, you can send those to Crazy Patrick, P.O. Box 191, Las Cruces. That's 2 words, capital Las, capital Cruces, New Mexico, which is NM. And the zip code is 88004. I always put that in the description of my videos. I also put my email if you ever want to, just have a private conversation you don't want everybody else to see in the comments. You can email me. If you ever see something like this that you want, and you want the recipe, I'll send it to you in an email. Just let me know. If you want to mail me any pictures that you think that I might like to paint, use as a guide for a painting, let me know. This is starting to boil. Got to keep stirring it here. This doesn't take a whole long time. This is such an easy recipe. Once it starts boiling, you want it to boil for 2.5 minutes. So it's boiling now. So we're going to kind of watch the clock and try to get 2.5 minutes here. I am going to turn this down a little bit because it's a little bit too much. I got the heat up way too high. Let's turn her down a little bit. There we go. We don't want to burn it, but we want it to boil. I've got that fire way down. Yeah, there we go. Got it way down now. You don't want to burn it. You got to keep her going. So far, it's only been about a minute. We need 2.5 minutes. There's 1 minute. And what this is doing, it's just making sure the sugar is good and dissolved with the milk. Or in my case, I used half and half because I think it'll make it a little more creamier. So we're going to keep this going here for a little bit longer. When I was in Albuquerque Wednesday at the hotel, I went outside and there was a guy had what do they call them? It's a sheepdog. It'll come to me here in a minute. A blue heeler. Make the cattle dog, sheepdog. And it was a puppy, a little female, and she was just cute as a dickens. And she liked me. She come right to me and wanted to be friends. another guy walked up there and she wanted to attack him. She wouldn't have nothing to do with him. I don't know. And it was before he even spoke to her. She just decided she didn't like him. Okay, we're going on the half a minute now. This is almost done boiling. When I was about 12 years old, I was born and raised in Fort Collins, Colorado. And up north of Fort Collins, there was a place they called the Buckeye. And there was a big ranch up there, and the family's name was Monroe. And we just called the old man, we just called him Old Man Monroe. I think his name was Clarence. But I don't know, I think I was 12 years old. And he came by the house one day. Now I've shut this off now, so we're just going to leave it here sit for a minute. But he came by the house one day, and he was actually looking for my brother. But my brother, I had a brother that was 8 years older than me, and he's passed away now. But he came by looking for my brother because they took the sheep on a sheep drive, like an old cattle drive. It was over 50 miles up into the mountains. And then after you got there, you got horses, and you herded the sheep with the horses up through the timber, up into the high country, and then you kept them up there all summer. And he asked if I wanted to go. Well, man, that's like a dream come true to get to do something like that. Uh-oh. Half a cup. Okay, so now I put the vanilla in there, so I got to go on that sheep drive, guys. And it was just like, I don't know if you ever watched the movie with John Wayne movie, The Cowboys. This calls for 1/3 cup of peanut butter. So I'm just kind of guessing it out here. And I might have put a little too much milk. We'll see, but hope it sets up okay. So now we put the peanut butter in here. But I got to go on that sheep drive. And it was on foot for over 60 miles. And you couldn't go very far a day because you had to let the sheep rest during the heat of the day for 2 or 3 hours. So you'd start, you'd have breakfast at daylight, and then you'd take off with the sheep, and you'd herd those sheep just like herding cattle, but you're doing it on foot. And sleeping on the ground every night, sleeping on the ground. And now all I'm doing is stirring in a tablespoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and about 1/3 cup of peanut butter. So got to get that all mixed in, and I'll try to get this story in. But it was just like the movie The Cowboys. We had a chuck wagon, we had a cook that fixed the meals on the chuck wagon. He would, like, for dinner, lunch and dinner, it was like it got thrown in a pot, and I get to lick the spoon. And I had some pecans, guys, and I think it'd be kind of cool to put some pecans in this, just for some crunchy. So I'm just putting some pecans in for the fun of it. recipe don't call for it, but I thought it'd be nice to have a little crunchy in there. I like pecans. Of course, I live in the green chili and pecan capital of the world here. So, anyways, you know, he would that cook on the chuck wagon, he'd just throw everything in one big pot, whatever it was that he threw together. Tasted different every meal, but it was always good. And breakfast, you know, was like a normal breakfast, like biscuits and gravy, you know, sausage and eggs and stuff like that. But lunch and dinner, it was just whatever he threw in the pot. But so we went on foot with these sheep over 60 miles. We had sheepdogs. They had Australian shepherds, not blue heelers. And I had a Australian shepherd that he had given me, and he was pretty young. And so I took him so he could learn how to herd sheep. And he learned from the other dogs. But the amazing thing was all these other sheep herders were all Hispanic. They was all Mexicans. And they spoke Spanish. And there was some of them spoke some English, but it was pretty broken English. And they would give the dogs commands like go around, because you had to keep the sheep in a bunch on the road that we were going up. And you didn't want them to get out through the fence. So you'd tell the dog to go around, and the dog would run around and keep the sheep all bunched up. If one got through the fence, you'd tell them to go get them, and they'd bring them back. But they would tell the dogs in Spanish, and I would tell the dogs in English, and the dogs understood both perfectly. So they were smart dogs. And we got to do this, and then we got all the way up to where we got our horses. The very first day we got our horses, about halfway through the day, I'd been riding since I was like 5, 6 years old, so I'm good on a horse. And the boss came up to tell us where to turn the sheep in the timber, and I rode up my horse alongside his horse so I could hear what he was saying, and his horse kicked at my horse and kicked me right in the shin, on my left shin, and it kicked me so hard it threw my leg up over the saddle. It kicked me so hard, and they thought it broke my leg, and it did hurt and it did swell up, but thank God it didn't break my leg. But they had to take me back to town, drive me to town, and I had to go to the doctor. I couldn't walk. So that was the end of my sheep drive. I was supposed to get to stay up there all summer with the sheep, and I would have loved that, but it didn't work out. But anyway, folks, I got this now. I'm going to pour it into this pan, and we're going to hope for the best. I hope I didn't put too much milk in it. I might have. But we'll see. This has to cool now and harden up. So if I didn't mess it up, like I said, this was my first time doing this. So I don't know. It looks good. If it sets up, I might have messed up. But if I did, oh well, I'll try it again. But if you follow the recipe I told you, it'd be right. But I think I put a little bit too much half and half in it. I'm going to wipe this pan out because I don't want it to be that hard to clean. And I hope you enjoyed the recipe for the peanut butter fudge. I hope if you're new to my channel, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hit those thumbs up, guys. Those thumbs up really help my algorithm. Gets my videos out so more people see them. Makes my channel grow better. And leave those comments. I love to have comments. If any of you guys have any ideas or videos that you'd like to see me do, let me know. And in the comments, and I'll try to put videos together that will be more interest to you. I hope I'm not boring y'all to tears, But with that, I'm going to tell you, have a great rest of your day. Stay healthy, and God bless.